Let's give them a clue. For those of you that need a refresher on oxidative stress is free radicals that have not been removed from circulation and could cause damage. Free radicals are a normal byproduct of metabolism in the mitochondria, the little powerhouses in every cell that use the three macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs, to make ATP or energy. Like the exhaust coming out of a car, the byproduct of a combustion engine using gasoline for fuel, free radicals are oxygen molecules that have lost an electron that now have the potential to damage enzymes and DNA. If you think about it, you can't have vitality and peak athletic performance from your engine, your body, your mitochondria, if you're oxidatively stressed. By the way, Juice Plus has 14 studies showing how it lowers oxidative stress. Back to the subject of pregnancy. Many of you know or have heard of Dr. Odom, an OB/GYN colleague of mine, who discovered in his patients that those on Juice Plus and a healthy lifestyle, as opposed to just a standard prenatal vitamin, had significantly lower rates of preeclampsia at preterm birth, along with other improved outcomes. Now, we're not claiming to prevent, treat, or cure any disease, but I'm very good at connecting the dots between nutrition and disease. And I found that my pregnant patients on Juice Plus, along with other healthy choices, have experienced the same benefits reported by Dr. Odom. It is my opinion, therefore, that the Juice Plus Squad is the prenatal of choice. Absolutely critical to be started by 8 weeks of pregnancy, and preferably sooner, and always in consultation with and approval of your physician and your midwife. While we're on the subject of pregnancy, I would like women to realize that pregnancy is a stress test, a forecaster of what lies ahead for you, especially when it comes to cardiometabolic health. If you have preeclampsia or gestational diabetes during pregnancy, unless you recognize this and make lifestyle preventative changes, you run the risk of silently, starting at age 35, when estrogen, a potent antioxidant, starts declining and accelerating your cardiometabolic dysfunction. The following trends speak to this. In the 35 to 54-year-old age range, men's cardiometabolic health, measured by hospitalization for heart attack, is actually improving, while in women, it is declining, indicating that women are becoming more and more metabolically unhealthy. After many years of neglecting research in women, having extrapolated incorrectly research done in men to women, we now know that women are more vulnerable than men when it comes to disease. The best example of this is the fact that 90% of autoimmune diseases are in women, and the rates are rising. In women, your greatest risk is during your reproductive years, from age 12 to 51, mainly due to 40 years of menstruation. This time period generates extra free radicals, a physiology and phenomenon unique to women and not shared by men. Don't let something that is so preventable, cardiometabolic dysfunction, rob you of that sense of delight and living a life of vitality. We must do better and get more girls on Juice Plus, along with making other healthy choices before they start puberty, to address this oxidatively stressed period in her life. But there is more. As a physician with a 40-year historical perspective, I have witnessed this train wreck in slow motion. I'm referring to the chronic metabolic disease burden now approaching 50%, with the other 50% at risk of developing a metabolic disorder like type 2 diabetes or hypertension. By comparison, in the United States in 1965, the chronic disease burden was only 5%, and we only spent 5% of our GDP on healthcare. By 2021, that number rose to 20%, spending twice as much as any other industrialized developed nation, and a quadrupling of healthcare expenditure as a percentage of GDP over the past 60 years. These explosive trends in chronic metabolic disease and financial burdens are not sustainable. We must change course. It's true that as we age, we are more likely to develop a chronic medical disorder. By age 65, 80% of us have at least one chronic condition, and 68% have 2 or more chronic conditions. Placing a price tag on this, in the United States, we spend $4.1 trillion on healthcare, and 75% of that, or $3.1 trillion, managing chronic metabolic diseases, with cardiovascular disease at the top, and the #1 cause of death for men and women. Juice Plus has several studies showing how it contributes to cardiovascular wellness by lowering CRP, a measure of chronic inflammation, and lowering homocysteine, a measure of cardiac health. It's been estimated and suggested that most of the $3.1 trillion spent in our disease management healthcare system could be saved if we only improved our nutrition. We need everyone in this room, and then some, to spread this critical message. After many years of a rising life expectancy in the United States, in 2020, it fell by 2 years, and by 2021, it fell by an additional year, with this 3-year decline being the largest drop over a 2-year period since 1920. If you plot life expectancy versus health expenditure per capita, we seem to spend more on healthcare than any other industrialized nation, and we die sooner than any other industrialized nation. All in all, we have really fallen off the rails, and these trends are more than just a canary in the coal mine story. They are existential threats to us, and frankly, not sustainable. But there is hope. The verdict is in. The world's literature is in agreement that our focus must be on our lifestyle habits, especially our nutrition. In the Juice Plus space, we strongly encourage you to exercise most days, drink plenty of water, sleep 7 to 8 hours per night, reduce your stress and avoid processed foods and artificial and refined sugars. The cornerstone, however, the foundation of health, wellness, and longevity is metabolic health, and the foundation of metabolic health is whole food nutrition, eating real food, rich with fruits, vegetables, omegas, and fiber. But unfortunately, not everyone can always do that. So Juice Plus was created to help us bridge the gap between what you should eat and what you do eat every single day. It complements your diet with added nutrition from 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries, plus a blend of omega fatty acids sourced from plants, seeds, and algae. And let's not forget 7 grams of fiber in the complete shake mix. On the topic of lifestyle habits, the 6 I just mentioned, eating real food, exercise, water, sleep, stress reduction, avoiding processed foods and artificial and refined sugars, I would like to mention the importance of concentrated plant powders and lifespan. We already know from Juice Plus research that concentrated plant powders affect the tips of our chromosomes, our telomeres, in a positive manner, and that has been shown to improve lifespan. It appears as though simple lifestyle measures, in addition to concentrated plant powders, translates not only into health, wellness, vitality, and peak performance, but longevity and lifespan as well. Consider the following inverse relationship. The more fruits and vegetables you consume, the lower your all-cause mortality. This same relationship can be said with omegas and fiber. The more you consume, the lower your all-cause mortality. All-cause mortality includes all the conditions that we die from, with atherosclerotic heart disease at the top, followed by cancer, stroke, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease, and autoimmune disorders. Many consider all of these as cardiometabolic dysfunctions, with insulin resistance as the poster child, the root cause of these diseases, with Alzheimer's disease now being called type 3 diabetes, 2/3 of which are seen in women. Armed with all this information, I want you to ponder this question. What is your strategy for getting as many fruits, vegetables, berries, omegas, and fiber into your diet? We're supposed to consume a minimum of 7 servings per day, and even more if pregnant, suffer from a chronic metabolic disorder, or are an athlete. The CDC says that 90% of Americans fall way short of this recommendation, with 70% of Americans still relying on multivitamins to bridge their micronutritional gap. Sadly, many believe they can exercise themselves out of a bad diet or even medicate themselves out of a bad diet. I firmly believe that the Juice Plus community, which always encourages us to make healthy choices, is the grassroots organization and movement now in 24 countries around the world and expanding to right the sinking ship of poor health. 20 years ago, my family was introduced to Juice Plus on account of my oldest son's asthma. My kids were 13, 9, and 7 at the time. We've been on Juice Plus ever since, making healthy choices. And as new products were introduced, like the Omega Blend and Perform Shake Mix, we have added them to our daily habits. Juice Plus is plant-based nutrition, better than organically grown, NSF certified, and concentrated in convenient and easy to take capsules. Speaking of asthma, and also hypertension for that matter, I'd like to mention a study, my favorite study, done at the University of Maryland and published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Adults were randomized to 3 comparable groups: the fruit and vegetable capsules, the duo, the fruit, vegetable, berry capsules, the trio, and a placebo-control group. After being on Juice Plus for just 1 month, they measured their baseline brachial artery diameters in a vascular lab and then had them eat a fatty fast food breakfast. They returned to the vascular lab and for the next 4 to 6 hours remeasured their brachial arteries, and this is what they found. The placebo control group had a 50% constriction of their brachial artery, and you should be thinking heart attack, stroke, and hypertension. But the fruit and vegetable group had a 62% prevention in the constriction, and the fruit, vegetable, and berry group had 98%, almost 100% prevention in the constriction. Given the prevalence of hypertension in the world, with heart attack the #1 cause of death for both men and women, if all we had was this one study, this one alone would justify having Juice Plus on the kitchen counters of every home on the planet. Chronic inflammation, mediated mainly through a compromised gut microbiome or leaky gut, is the main driver of chronic disease. Women, when compared to men, are 60% more likely to have antibiotics prescribed, mainly due to a higher frequency of bladder infections, which ultimately puts women at greater risk for gut microbiome disruptions. Juice Plus has 4 studies, specifically showing how it helps reduce inflammation, and a more recent study showing an improved gut microbiome mediated through improved butyrate production. The superpower of butyrate is that it provides the main energy source for our colonic gut microbiome, maintains our gut barrier, suppresses inflammation in our gut, which provides protection against inflammation-based diseases. Our immune system not only protects us from infectious foreign invaders, but also removes mutated cells that would like to become cancer cells. Juice Plus has 4 studies, 1 in older adults, 1 in law students, 1 in healthy active military men, and 1 in healthcare workers, showing how it supports our immune system, specifically the function of natural killer T cells, and those on Juice Plus having fewer respiratory tract infections. As a physician with a research background and several publications in the literature, I appreciate the depth and breadth of the Juice Plus Science Institute, having generated now 46 prospective randomized studies published in peer-reviewed journals showing how it is bioavailable and bioefficacious at the cellular level, influencing our physiology in a positive manner. I therefore feel very confident in recommending Juice Plus along with making other healthy choices, not just to family and friends, but also to my patients. As Dr. Du Bois said, quote, "After looking at all the research done on Juice Plus, I recognize that there's nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do all those things in the human body." Unquote. Before I close, I would like to bring to your attention our Shred 10 program developed by Dr. Mitre. Given that 45% of adults and 25% of children now have fatty liver, with fatty liver being the marker for metabolic syndrome, mainly due to an overexposure to fructose, these individuals need new guidance and a new direction. With insulin resistance being the root cause and the main driver of this condition, people need a roadmap, a nutritional and lifestyle compass to place them on the path of healing. Remember, metabolism is more than just burning calories. Metabolism is the sum total of all the biochemical reactions in the body. The Shred 10 program, with its 10 guiding principles of taking Juice Plus and making healthy lifestyle choices, is the best program to address the problem of metabolic dysfunction because it optimizes your metabolism, and therefore I recommend it highly. In conclusion, I frequently get asked, "Dr. Joe, what should I start with? Should I start with the Duo, the Trio, the Omega, or the Complete or Perform Shake Mix?" I like to answer by saying, you have to start with everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. This means that in addition to eating real food and eating as many whole food source fruits, vegetables, and berries and fiber, I recommend that you get started on the entire Juice Plus product line in order to benefit from the full synergistic effect of all the phytonutrients in Mother Nature. Everything also means to join this amazing community in our quest to inspire healthy living around the world. It's not enough to just take the Juice Plus product. You need to be submerged in this community, loved on by this community, and be surrounded by like-minded warriors that will hold you accountable. It is time to stop outsourcing our health to physicians and other healthcare professionals. It is time to stop outsourcing our health to the disease management healthcare system. Our health is our responsibility. We are in the driver's seat, and we must take healthy back. As a physician surgeon, I view myself as a fireman putting out fires. I'm grateful to all the tools in my toolbox, and I am in support of all the healthcare providers that put out the fires that we can't prevent. But what we really need is more Smokey the Bears. More Smokey the Bears to help prevent the fires in the first place. That's all of us in this room, and God willing, many more to join this mission. Thank you all for your attention, and God bless.